Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Ra Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayong Girivaradhari Jayong Girivaradhari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayong Girivaradhari Jayong Girivaradhari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayong Yashodanandana Jayom Rajajanaranjana Jayom Rajajanaranjana Jayom Yashodanandana Jayom Yashodanandana Jayom Rajajanaranjana Jayom Rajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Jayom Yamunatiravanachari Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Yamunatiravanachari Jayo Yamunatiravanachari Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Yamunatiravanachari Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Radha Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradhari Jayo Girivaradhari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Jayom Rajajanaranjana Jayom Rajajanaranjana Jayo Yashodanandana Jayo Rajajanaranja Jayo Rajaranjana Yashodanandana Jayom Rajajanranjana Jayom Rajajanranjana Yashodanandana Jayo Yamunatiravanachari Jayo Kunjabihari Jayo Yamunatira Jayo Yamunatiravanachari Jayo Kunjabihari Raja Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Raja Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Shri Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Om Jnanantimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yenan Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakammalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. It was great pleasure and overwhelming experience to be with all of you last 3 days. So I think I will realize what happened to me only when I be traveling further, And when everything will settle, I'll see what wonderful experience I have had with all Vaishnavas assembled here. I'm very much impressed by character of all of you and your dedication here in Bahrainishwar temple. So Balaram Desh Yatra will stay in my heart, definitely. And Hare Krishna. And one very unique thing I have learned here, actually, that somehow I've realized that here everyone is so important. You know why I'm realizing this? Because Varada Gopal Prabhu have introduced all of you so nicely that I would think I'm meeting the most important person in universe. But truly, if you have noticed this, what service person is doing in temple, how he is connecting himself with temple, what service he's doing outside the occupation, then family, then his qualities, so many. And then with his enthusiasm, I would approach to everyone in the same way. And everyone is the most important, seems to. I think that's the unique feature of Balaram Desh Yatra. So it's a quality which I would like to invoke in my life, and I believe I associate with all of you. I'll get some of that mercy. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I was requested to speak on Vedic education since I'm a teacher in Gurukul, so I'll try to speak on that topic. We have many experiences in that Vedic education for so many years, and I'll try to share some of them. So since we speak about Vedic education, first of course, must be based on Vedas. Without Vedas is not Vedic education. And what is Veda? Veda means knowledge. And what is knowledge? Are knowledge words which we hear? Is knowledge letters, sentences from the books? No, it's not actually. Knowledge is experience. Knowledge is experience of perception of objects of reality. When pure living being in his pure consciousness is perceiving the world, the phenomenal and real world, without obstacles of imperfect senses, then that knowledge is called Veda. That Veda is a natural Shakti of a living being and a supreme being. It is called Svata Siddha Jnana. Self-perfect knowledge. In spiritual world, living beings have power to be self-realized and to share that knowledge with others. In other words, if we perceive someone, we will immediately know his nama, rupa, guna, and lila, name, form, qualities, and activities. Just like if we see any object in this world, we can guess the name or the qualities. But in spiritual world, in entirety, we realized that object just through perception. That is because of that Svata Siddha Jnana. So Svata Siddha Jnana is coming originally from Krishna. He's fully self-realized living being. He knows himself in full. So therefore Vedic knowledge must come from him and rishis, self-realized personalities. So from that we can just conclude that purpose of Vedic education is nothing else except self-realization. Atma-anubhav and Bhagavat-anubhav. To realize the self and to realize Supreme Personality of Godhead Shri Krishna and our relationship with Him. If we know Him, we will know everything. Yasmin vigyate sarvam vigyam evam bhavati. By knowing Him, Yasmin vigyate sarvam vigyam eva bhavati. Everything else becomes known. Just like yesterday we have mentioned the two aspects, primary and secondary. If we know the person, we will know about his preferences in dressing, in cooking, in living, in acting. Mm? So if we know the Supreme Lord, we will know also how to use secondary things, and we know how to engage them in his service. In other words, in Vedic education, we have Paravidya and Aparavidya. Paravidya is transcendental knowledge about Krishna, his personality, and uh, uh, his relationship with devotees, the bhakti, and Aparavidya is the knowledge of secondary things. In Vedic literature, there are 14 books of Vedic knowledge, and many of them are secondary. Most of them are secondary. For example, in Chaturveda, we have also Upavedas. Upaveda is uh, uh, Gandharva Veda, Stapana Veda, Dhanur Veda, and Ayurveda, Stapana Veda, and Gandharva Veda, and Dhanur Veda. These four are Upavedas. So this is knowledge which is secondary to person. The knowledge about the medicine, the knowledge about the martial arts, the knowledge about the Stapana, creating the buildings, the interior, exterior, and the things suitable for human being for a living. So all these kinds of knowledge are secondary knowledge. So in Krishna consciousness, we use them as Krishna likes. How we make our house, how we dress, how we eat, how we play instruments or dance. It is, we use it in the way the Krishna likes. Then this aparavidya becomes Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it is avidya. Why is avidya? Because vidya is awareness of our relationship with Krishna. That is real vidya, that is knowledge. And if aparavidya is used just for our material enjoyment, then we are still in avidya. We are not aware of our relationship with Krishna. So then this secondary knowledge becomes avidya, becomes ignorance. We are covered more. The aparavidya is allowance to conditioned living beings to maintain their culture and actions in this world. So it is allowed, but we get karma if we don't use it in Krishna's service. So many times people think, oh, this aparavidya, that's material knowledge. But the literal translation is not prakrita vidya, it is aparavidya. We have para, superior, and inferior knowledge. Inferior knowledge is secondary knowledge about things which I have explained. So when we approach Krishna consciousness in through these secondary things, then they must be in the way the Krishna likes. Then it's also Krishna consciousness. Then the real purpose of all Vedic literature is to please Krishna, to know Krishna. Veda icha sarvir aham eva vedyo, Vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. He is saying that he is the goal of all Vedas, Veda Vidya, and he is the compiler of Vedanta, Vedanta Krit, the conclusion of all Vedas, and he is the knower of Vedas. So if we want to associate with him, we need to know what is a Veda. In India, in Bharata, so many sampradayas are there, so many Guru Paramparas there, so many Gotras are there. So the knowledge was transmitted from Krishna originally to other rishis, and it was disseminated through the whole Bharata, actually through all the universe. It is very much disseminated. It is so much spread that even demons are using Vedic cultures. Don't think that demons are using modern culture, contemporary culture. Sometimes people are ashamed of their Vedic culture. They think it's backward and like that. But you know, the Ravana or Hiranyakashipu, you know how they dress? In dhoti. Because if you want perfection in material life, you will use Vedic things. They are God-given. If you want contemporary modern things, then they will not give so much satisfaction. Even if you're a verse demon, you want to squeeze from matter as much as possible. You want something which is Vedic. For example, the dress of local people here, the kanduras and etc., is much more Vedic than any from the West, from West universal dress code. So how much you get from that pleasure? Really, it's not something aesthetically relishable. It's not something conducive for our body also to be used. Sometimes we need to use, but we should know that actually what is the real aristocracy, or to say sophisticatedness and refinedness. The Western culture is sophisticated. It is very complicated in sense there are so many technological advancements and like that, but it's not refined. Means that people are still using things which are muchi, and they're not refined in a sense. So Vedic culture is much better. So Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, even they are using Vedic culture. So don't think that only suras are enjoying. Even demons are so wise that why not use something which gives you such a relish? So the Vedic knowledge is disseminated all over the universe, and it's disseminated in Bharata. And two ways is also always Sampradaya and Gotra. Sampradaya is spiritual lineage from Guru to Shishya, and Gotra is in family from mother and father to students. And both must be there in order to educate the child in Vedic culture properly. Regarding the different sampradayas and that we should know our identity. Without our identity, we can go in so many rivulets of Vedic knowledge. Our identity is that we are of Bhagavat Sampradaya, we are following Srimad Bhagavatam, we are Shiksha Sampradaya, we focus on education, on instructing the students in, especially in Bhakti. And after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially we are followers of Srila Rupa Goswami, Rupanugas, the followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami is the person who have established in this world the mission to fulfill the desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His desire was to give Raga Marga Bhakti to people of this world, and he have come personally to taste it. So he was the perfect teacher. He was first practicing, then teaching. Apani Achari, Bhakti Shikaimus Habare. First I need to practice it by myself, then I will be able to give it to others. His pranama mantra is Namo Mahavadanya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gorat Vishe Namaha. That he is the giver of the prema. Krishna Prema Pradayate. So we want to educate ourselves in bhakti, which is leading us to that prema. And in honor of Srila Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami have established one Gurukul in Vrindavan, the original Gaudiya Vaishnava Gurukul called Sri Rupanuga Pramartika Vidyapita. After disappearance of Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, he have established this Gurukula along with library, and he have established Vishwa Vaishnava Raja Sabha, the Royal Assembly of Vaishnavas. So with time, different acharyas were re-establishing, reinstating the same system, and finally Srila Prabhupada have did the same. He have made International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which is Vishwa Vaishnava Raja Sabha, and along that he have established, of course, BBT, which is our global library, moving library. We want to give this knowledge to everyone. But he have also established Gurukula in Mayapur. He have established Gurukula also in other places, in Dallas, in Vrindavan. So Srila Prabhupada was a visionary person. He knew that in order to create generations of devotees in Krishna consciousness, we need to have solid education. So he have named that Gurukula Shirupanuga Paramartika Vidyapita. Vidyapita is the seat of learning, of Paramartha, of transcendental knowledge, in line coming of Srila Rupa Goswami. So that is very important thing. That is the identity. Because when we go out as devotees, we need to know whom we are representing. We are representing our Guru Parampara, we are representing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Radha Krishna, but first of all, we are representing Srila Prabhupada, because he's the founder Acharya. So the way we interact with people, the way we behave, the way we eat, the way we dress, the way we do all daily activities should be as things are established in our scriptures, especially nectar of devotion and nectar of instructions. So Srila Rupa Goswami is a very special person who have wrote that book Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Ujjvala Nilaman and Vidagdha Madhava, Lalita Madhava. And in these books, he have explained Krishna Lila and Krishna Nata by using Natya Shastra. So he have, through dramaturgy, he have explained the phenomenology of Krishna's pastimes, the experiences of Krishna and his devotees. So in order to, actually the traditional way of teaching of Gaudiya Vaishnavas is through Kavya and drama. We see the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have himself performed dramas. And why is like that? Now I'm speaking you this, but took me many years to understand, and in researching and realizing, Natya Shastra is the Vedic method of presentation of knowledge. In ancient Bharata, people would gather in theaters and learn from actors. And actors are actually Brahmanas who were cursed to become Shudras, that they entertain people. But they're Brahmanas, and the knowledge of Natya Shastra is very elevated. So one special concept over there in Natya Shastra is called Sahridayata. It is, in a free translation, common-heartedness. When there is an actor who is abhivyanjayati, and means that he is expressing and acting, and there is a spectator, the audience, who is rasa swadayati, relishing the mellows of bhava, which is the actor expressing, then the effect of common-heartedness, sahridata, happens. In that moment, the bhava of actor is transmitted into the heart of spectator. So this method of education should be used also in education, in Vedic education, in Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. So in simple words, we cannot teach if we have not connected with someone. The teacher and student must be connected. The teacher is the actor, and he's not acting only in classroom. His whole life must be perfect. Srila Prabhupada was walking Bhagavat. We have Grantha Bhagavat and Bhakta Bhagavat. So teacher must be the embodiment of principles of Bhagavat. So then teacher, his whole life is very exemplary for a student. And we see that our, in one way, our method of education is behavioristic education by being example to others. And the essence of all, before that, we can say that the simple example of this Sahridayata is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. The first shloka is saying, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye, that he have taught him within heart. So what means teaching within heart? Means teaching with love. He was taking care of that student of Brahma. And a very interesting, Adi Kavi is showing the qualification of a student. He's the original poet. That means the student must have a tendency to understand reality in aesthetic way. He needs to not only understand the Siddhanta of the scriptures, but also to understand and relish the aesthetic perception of reality. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the best example of that. He have taught us that we cannot understand reality only by gyan. We need to understand reality by bhakti and by rasa. He have said, he have showed that living beings have natural tendency to relish rasa. None of us have anything against five rasas, five Panchamukhya rasa and Sapta Gauna rasa, five main rasas and seven secondary. No one have anything against no, the Madhura rasa. Everyone, most of you are married. The Vatsalya rasa, parenthood, the Sakya rasa, friendship, the Dasya rasa, servitorship, and neutrality, Shanta rasa. No one have anything against that. It means that we have natural tendency, inherent desire to experience these rasas, these mellows of reality. The modern education is reductionistic method of education. They want to teach us what is the smallest particle of matter, and then we will understand reality. But the Vedic is complementarity. Complementarity means that we have Purusha and Prakriti, and they are complementing each other, and the reality is actually a complement of Purusha and Prakriti. Just like Jiva and Prakriti, the materialistic enjoyer, in order to have experience in this world, he needs to conjoin with matter. So that is reality. The relationship, sambandha of Jiva with Prakriti, Jiva with other Jiva, Krishna with Prakriti, Krishna or Ishvara with Jiva. So in order to understand real education, we need to know that rasa. That is real education. And in Rasa Samagri, the ingredients of rasa, Srila Rupa Goswami explains, first of all, affection, rati, and different kinds of affections, which are primary emotions of human beings, like vira, rati, it's enthusiasm, heroism, then rudra rati, it is anger, then love, affection. So these are primary emotions explained in scriptures, and they are also called sthai bhava, the permanent emotion. In present day, we don't have actually so much of this sthai bhava. We don't have permanent emotions. Anyway, relationships of this world are very temporary. But still, we need to, through these relationships, we need to learn how to act in relationship in order to be qualified to associate with Krishna and his associates. This is opportunity to learn these things. So, sthai bhava can be only in primary relationship, Madhurya, Vatsalya, Sakya, Dasya, and Shanta. But today in the world, we think we have a friendship. If we go to cinema with someone, we do some fun, amusement. But this actually only secondary thing. It is adbhuta. We are amazed, and we go to nature with someone for a hiking or a beach, and we think, oh, we are friends. Or for a sport, it's a vira rasa, some hobby. But after that, we don't have anything in common. So how there can be then a permanent relationship over there? It's not friendship, actually. We are basing so much of our relationship on secondary things, which should just become like a masala, spice for our relationship. We don't have real meal. So we should, first of all, learn how to become carrier or the shelter of some of these emotions. Therefore, the next part explained is Vibhava. Vibhava is constituted of Alamban and Udipan. Alamban is something which inspires us in person. We have Priti Visha and Priti Ashraya. Priti Visha is the object of love, and Priti Ashraya is the shelter of that love, the person who is carrying that love. Priti Vishaya is always Krishna, and Priti Ashraya is uh, first of all Srimati Radharani and then all other devotees. So unless person have got that love from someone, then it's very difficult for him to give to others. That is, let's say, the first lesson for all devotees, but parents in general. Because if our children didn't get that, they will not be able to give to others. And sometimes we think, why our children are not Krishna conscious? Why they are going into some materialistic pursuits of life? It is because simply they didn't get enough of that. Of course, karma is there, and people have different tendencies. In modern age, people are so much engrossed in sense enjoyment, so it's difficult to protect our children. But still, if we will nourish our children fully, even when they go out, they will come back to this. And we have experience in Gurukul that boys, they go out of Gurukul, then they have long hair, they may even do tattoo or something, but after some time they're just dissatisfied with all this, and they just leave it, because the nourishment of parents and a teacher was so much that they cannot leave that anymore. The experiences of this world are very much shallow. In Gurukul, we live very simple, but the bond of relationship should be so strong that our children doesn't want to leave that, and they never find it anymore. Just recently, one boy gave me a message from Brazil. He have left Gurukul before 2 years, and you see, he's always coming, reconnecting, and staying in touch. So it's very important that children get that and become the object of love, and then they will also become the subject of love, the ashraya. In Vedic education, the Kamara period, first 6 years is very much important. Don't leave your kids out of home or community. Srila Prabhupada said that in order to educate a child, we need a whole village, because the foundational primary sentiments of a child are created in that period. The samskaras are created. Therefore, the child should get ideal idol or a character in life. Therefore, all traditions are using one scripture, either Ramayana, Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Bhagavata, one idol in life that person should have. And you see that kids, they're worshipping idols from childhood. Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi. Tell me some another one. Who is popular nowadays? Mostly these football players and maybe some actors or etc. So that's natural tendency of living beings to worship someone. So if we will not protect them, then they will worship someone else and imbibe their qualities and become ashraya of that. So children, this is the real primary education. We say primary education after first grade, and so this is real primary education. And it's in Vedic education, this paravidya, we first give that, then aparavidya. That's secondary education. Do you get my point? It's very important to understand. We first give the highest, the knowledge of the soul and super soul. We give this first to children. Not that first we teach them ABC, maybe without any meaning. That knowledge is very analytical to teach ABC or teach just math separately, then consciousness becomes so much fragmented. And kids are seeing one subject, another subject, and so many subjects, but he's lost in all that. He doesn't understand the purpose of life. But Vedic knowledge, wherever we... thank you, Prabhu. Wherever we see some scripture, we will see different aspects of the same life. We will see the different aspects of same life. It is said, Eka eva pura Veda in Srimad Bhagavatam. Originally there was one Veda. And where is that Veda? Where is residing Veda? Within consciousness of living being. So whatever knowledge you get, you need to connect with your personality. Otherwise, it's defragmented knowledge. We don't have connection. For example, like this, I'm sitting now in Padmasana, no? And this is from Yoga Shastra, and I'm giving Bhagavad Gita. So from Yoga Shastra is used in context of Bhagavat, or Ayurveda, we take medicines. It's a part of one life. It's not, there are not so many subjects in one sense. There is only one subject, no? That is Krishna consciousness and how to use everything in Krishna consciousness. So what was my connection with the Aparavidya, the modern education? Anyway, I'll come back to original point of being the ashraya of love. The child needs to have someone to worship, and therefore the great kathas are there for a child. Basically, the ideal education would be to go for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, to go. The child goes through Srimad Bhagavatam, through different stories, and whenever comes the section on some parts of Aparavidya, then we teach him that. But meanwhile, he's learning the character and devotion from Krishna and his devotees. We have did one research, very interesting, 14 books of Vedic knowledge. If there would be time, I would explain what is all there. All sorts of knowledge are there. And we have gone through Srimad Bhagavatam and specified the different portions when it's shown how great devotees have used all these kinds of knowledge in Krishna's service. Because Srimad Bhagavatam, Amala Purana, is showing us how to use different aspects of life in Krishna consciousness. Dharma Shastra is, for example, showing civic acts, law. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, in 7th canto, Narad Muni is teaching Maharaj Yudhishthira Dharma Shastra, civic act, how to act in society and become self-realized. So Srimad Bhagavatam is full of different kinds of knowledge. Just one scripture. Srila Prabhupada used to say, Vidya Bhagavata Vadi, that just by learning Srimad Bhagavatam, you will get all kinds of knowledge, and on the end, you will get Krishna. Just Srimad Bhagavatam. So that would be the ideal education, and different scriptures are there which can substitute in mechanics or secondary things. For example, this Dharma Shastra is secondary thing. How devotee in Krishna consciousness should act in society through civic acts. So in that way, all kinds of knowledge are used in Krishna consciousness, and they're not useless. Or sometimes devotees are going into Jyotish, Ayurveda, Darshana, so many, and it's not wrong, but we accept the identity of that. Being a Jyotishi, being what else is there popular? Yogi. You use that, but never use out of your identity and out of your tradition. So for that, we need to get the education based on Bhagavatam. So then our children will be nourished in Krishna consciousness, and they will stay in Krishna consciousness. They will be ashraya of that. Another aspect of Vibhava is Udipan. Udipan is impetus or stimulant, something that inspires us to remember a particular person. Just like Mother Yashoda have been seeing cloth of Krishna or flute, and she would immediately, her heart would melt. So it is secondary aspect, but is connected with Krishna's personality. And same thing in educating children. The things which are inspire us to always have favorable emotions for children, just like Sattvika Bhava would be the experience which mother have for the child. There is Sattvika Bhava, Vyabhichari, Sanchari. One is voluntarily, one is involuntarily. For example, the child goes to the school, mother naturally hugs the child, kiss the child, smell the hair of the child, and bless him to go to school. That is voluntarily. She's intellect is engaged, but involuntarily, Vyabhichari Bhava are coming spontaneously. She doesn't need to even engage her intelligence. For example, child goes to the school and she thinks, oh, how will this child be in the school? Will child eat properly, behave properly? Will he learn nicely? So that is Vyabhichari Bhava. She's experiencing some kind of anxiety. What will happen to the child? So these kinds of emotions are very much important. Without that, all things which we can learn from Ayurveda, from Jyotish, from Vedas itself, from Puranas, is very much secondary. We will miss the real purpose of Vedic education. And finally, that Sthai Bhava must be achieved, the permanent emotion for the child, and in that way the child will feel that belongs to the family. We cannot sometimes love someone, sometimes not love someone. That's not a real love. The negligence of a children, negligence of a family members, because the definition of love is given by Sri Rupa Goswami. Cannot have ulterior motives, and if we have ulterior motives, then we will always try to keep something for us, and the person will not feel so much connected. They will feel, oh, he's selfish. Especially children, they can feel that. They will feel, oh, this person is he's not nice. There's one interesting incident. His name is Dwarakadish Das. He have met Srila Prabhupada. He's the child of Prabhupada's disciples, and he have thought, oh, who is this old man? No, and he have thought maybe he's scary or something. And then Srila Prabhupada was offering him a cookie. And then he came and take the cookie, taste, and then he remembers the first thought about Srila Prabhupada. Oh, but actually he's not so bad. He's a very nice gentleman, like senior grandpa, but very nice. So impressions like that stays with children. They can sense very much. I have learned about myself very much from children. In my philosophy class, I have around 11, 12 children, and they're very dear to me, and I feel I'm very much dear to them, because I'm not just teaching them, I'm also listening from them. And that's also one part of being the ashraya, Sometimes we ask that question, why they have left, why they don't listen us? Because you don't listen them. You don't want to hear them. The masculine Purusha must always act as a mentality of feminine. If you're real masculine, you will take care of feminine. So in this context, the children, they are feminine, they are dependent on us. So the real Purusha, gentleman, he will think through his eyes, think through his vision and perception. If we just think through our own vision, then children will not feel connected, and we want something from them. So the role of parent and a teacher is just to be catalyst or facilitator of education. They have their own karma and dharma already inherent. So we need to help them to understand that, not to make them anything else than what they're supposed to be. So the education should be different for boys and girls. And we see that Krishna was educated in Gurukula of Sandipani Muni, and Srimati Radharani was educated at home by Kirtida Mai, and also in house of Krishna, Yashoda Mai was educating her. And that's very interesting because the way of teaching is different for boys and girls. You cannot teach in the same way. Boys needs to learn through discipline, and girls are learning through relationship. And generally, girls are much better in learning. They're learning much faster the culture, the subtle things, sentiments, etc. But for boys, it is said that it takes 12 years of discipline of the same thing to learn that essence. But the girls, they're starting with essence. Therefore, the Gurukula should be very disciplined, and it should be also austere. We don't have any furniture in Gurukul. So if you have furniture in Gurukul for the boys, then boys will become lazy, just like bulls. If they don't work, they become lazy and spoiled and sick. And mind is devil workshop. So it's very important to be disciplined. So for brahmacharis, education should be based on discipline. But girls, because they are in aesthetics and design and decorations, then they need to be educated in home atmosphere where they can express themselves. The boys means educating through impressions, through science, and girls means educating through expression. These two are kind of opposites and duality, and should be complemented. The science, what we understand internally in the culture, is the expression of the same. So what is inside, we need to learn to express. And if you can see how we actually learn, is we learn when we express ourselves and we see the reaction of people on our expression or action. This is how we actually start to behave in certain way. We see that world is accepting something or no, and we correct ourselves as per that. So the science is internal and culture is external, and also the culture must be understood. It's not that just we express ourselves and we don't understand things. The mentality, why we educate in different ways, the mentality of Purusha and Prakriti is different. Purusha, he can differentiate between intelligence and sentiments, but Prakriti is always thinking sentiments and intelligence together. And both have advantages and disadvantages. The Purusha, the masculine, can separate the intelligence from emotions. That means that he can go very deep in philosophy, in theology, in spiritual things, if he's disciplined. But if not, then he becomes very much emotional and mental. If you just see most of beggars in the world are men's. People who go to war, which is crazy thing, it's men's, because the intelligence is switched off. Extreme sports, men's. Who would do something like that so crazy, no? It's a man. He has switched off his intelligence. He can die. No one can guarantee, and he's still doing that. And the feminine is that they don't differentiate between the emotion and intelligence. And actually, this is incomplete statement. The statement, real statement, would be that first they understand through intuition, emotion, intuition, and then intelligence. And sometimes Srila Prabhupada would say that women are less intelligent. That doesn't mean that they cannot understand. The subjects for masculine and feminine are same. But feminine will understand it, but still she will act as per her own desires or even whims. It's not good to have so many saris, and still ladies are buying, no? I believe that this side have a lot of problem with this, but this side doesn't have. So feminine can understand, but will still act as he likes. Children are the same. They understand, but no, I like this, I will do like that. So the both have advantage and disadvantage, and should be used properly. In family life, the men's are good with internal things and women with external. The men's, they don't care much about external things. You can see that things can be, dirty socks are here, dirty clothes are there. That means men, modern men. But women, because of that non-separation of emotions from intelligence, they are not so good internally. So men's for in the home for internal things and women for external. One Srila Prabhupada disciple have said, in our home, I am the GBC and my wife is temple president. So he makes decisions and she's executing. And we see that in Vedic kingdoms, that Queen Rajni would have a lot of influence in management, especially the festivities, decorations, and etc. So it's very important to understand this Purusha and Prakriti. Without that, real education is never understood. There is no complementarity between the two. The Purusha is the independent and Prakriti is dependent. The original Purusha, Adi Purusha, is Krishna himself. He is Atmarama, self-satisfied, and he is also Rasamai. So that's the nature of man. He is self-satisfied with himself, and then he is going in relationships. Not that he is going in relationship to enjoy. Then he is not masculine, actually. One question for everyone. If man comes home from work and everything is in mess, everything is dirty, kids are running around, nothing is cooked, and he becomes angry, even shouts. At that moment, is he masculine or feminine? Why? Very good, very good. He became dependent on external situation, on emotions, and the situation in life. Therefore, he's feminine. Means he's dependent. Feminine means dependent. If he would really be independent, you know how he would think. What have I did that this have happened? If I'm not doing my actions properly, this is the reaction on that. So I have not maybe created the opportunity for them to serve, to prepare everything. And then as a gentleman, he would act. He would ask, what is the problem, what needs to be done? So he's not disturbed. Man must be on that level of intelligence. So with that, he's not disturbed then. And then that is real gentleman, that he can act properly. Just this one simple principle, if we learn in life, we'll be very successful. And in Gurukul, this time is passing so quickly, so I will try to finish. In Gurukul, we teach boys two main things: sense control and sensitivity. Brahmacharis can be sense controlled, but still they may not be sensitive for others. They are still rough. But there are others who are sensitive, but they cannot control their senses and they are not disciplined. And for girls, two main things to learn is chastity and satisfaction. Chastity means loyalty to husband, and satisfaction means that there is not so much of shopping. We are satisfied with 10 saris, ornaments, that number, etc. No? That is satisfaction. And how that education is achieved, very important, is that Purusha is creating the Prakriti. Krishna is energetic and Radharani is energy. She is his expansion. So that means that a masculine is created the feminine. In simple words, the more the father is masculine, the more daughter will be feminine. She will feel protected. She will feel all natural feminine tendencies, shyness, chastity, etc. So the more he is protective, she will feel more feminine. And the beauty of woman is that chastity, shyness, etc. Unfortunately, in this crazy modern world, things are completely opposite. They're giving pills to ladies not to feel shy. The ornament, it said the Srimati Radharani have a veil of shyness in black color, the veil of shyness. Because shyness means that something rare is there, something very valuable. If things are easily available, then that rarity is losing value. Variety is the mother of enjoyment. The more we want to enjoy, there must be variety. But rarity is also something very unique, because the more something is rare, the more it will be respected and valuable, more costly. So the more the feminine is having these qualities, more respected she will be. Therefore, in ancient kingdoms and in Bahrain, they would protect their women and cover the head and like that. So in Vedic tradition is also like that. In South India, they put flowers in the hair. So that tradition is there, but should be understood properly. It is not imposition of some rule. It is the expression of values and culture, etc. So these two must always be complementary, Purusha and Prakriti. And the relationship is real reality, and we should try to learn how to act in that relationship. With love, we should understand that all living beings are parts and parcels of Krishna. Serve them in Krishna consciousness, please Krishna, and share that bhakti with others. I would like to share many more things, but because we are over the time already, 12 minutes, I would finish now. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.